My name's Tom Conrad. I'm the CTO and head of product for Pandora. I mean, part of the story for us is just leaning in with advertisers and continuing to experiment with bringing their messages to our audience. And so, Pandora has been one of the incredible successes on mobile. Over 80% of all Pandora listening takes place on a mobile phone today. And so to make that work, we've been among the earliest sort of participants in this new emerging mobile ad ecosystem. And so it means a lot of experimentation with things like great audio ad products, great rich media and display ad products. We've got great opportunities for brands to use video in the context of Pandora. And so it's really just a matter of being there and being willing to experiment with brands as we sort of sort out how to make this work at really, really huge scale. And it's exciting. We've really turned the corner, I think, and have figured out some of the formula that truly works. I think what you're seeing on Pandora, and really in a lot of the other big mobile environments, is what you might think of as kind of product native advertising. So you start from the question of what does the consumer come to the product to do, and how can we integrate brands into that experience in a way that's a win, not just for the advertiser, but for the consumer as well. So in the case of Pandora, that's music entertainment. So a lot of our advertisers are creating stations that Pandora listeners can add to their station list and become a permanent part of their Pandora experience, which gives the advertiser earned media to continue to speak to that audience. I think the most exciting thing that we've really started to invest in the last couple of years is just how to use audio in a really compelling way. And so when Pandora got its start, we're very focused on display and rich media. And increasingly, as we've come to this kind of tremendous scale, becoming the largest radio station in most cities in the United States, we're increasingly able to tap into the traditional radio ad buyer. And so I think some of the really exciting things we're doing is how to serve that market really well. That includes how to think about creative and how to really integrate it into the experience, but also a bunch of back-end infrastructure for how do we help that ecosystem buy inventory at scale on Pandora. I think another exciting thing that's happening at Pandora is we really cracked the code on how to incorporate video advertising into the product. As a publisher, the great thing about the video environment is that the creative is being generated for lots of mediums, for pre-roll on the web, for television, and at Pandora we found a way to take that existing content and integrate it really naturally into the experience on Pandora. So maybe as you change stations, you can get a kind of pre-roll experience, just like you might for online video, but in the context of Pandora. And since we have so much listening, nearly 1.5 billion hours per month, it generates a lot of inventory. And so it's a great place for advertisers to come and leverage their investment in video creative. The really exciting news for us today is that we've crossed the 200 million listener threshold. And putting that a little bit in context for what that growth looks like, it took until just 2 years ago for us to get to the 100 million mark. So just in the last 2 years, we've doubled the size of the Pandora audience, just so far beyond our wildest dreams. And I think I get the question all the time, how do we do that? Well, we did it, I think, just by focusing on doing one thing better than anybody else, which is providing this incredibly simple, personalized listening experience that's all about the music that you love. Part of what helped make Pandora successful across the web and mobile and consumer electronics and in the automobile is that from the beginning we realized that people consume music through their entire day. And so we had to think about how do we create a product that doesn't just work on the web, but also works when you're on the go, works when you're in the car going 60 miles an hour down the road. And that infused every little product decision we made from the very, very beginning. And it reinforced this intuition we had that creating something really, really simple that allows people to press a button, lean back, and be kind of washed over with music they love, it was the key enabler for being part of people's day all day long.